I'm back with another video about retirement tips from baby boomers because this was so awesome when I reached out to the baby boomers that I know and love. Wow, they delivered. So I have 19 more retirement tips for you guys. Shout out to Capitalize who is sponsoring this video. Capitalize can help you roll over your old 401k into an IRA, but more on that later. Let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. And we all want to live payment free, especially during retirement. And so I went to the baby boomers and I said, yo, what do we need to know? What are your best tips, advice on retirement? And I got so much feedback that I decided to come back and make a part 2 video. If you have not checked out the first video, 20 retirement tips from baby boomers, I will leave a link up in the cards right here for you to check out. Before we get into the list, I want to share exactly kind of some demographics about this set of baby boomers. Now, they've chosen to stay anonymous, but as I was looking at who was giving me advice, I realized that they actually had some similarities. Now, one of the key differences here is that I had a mix of blue collar and white collar workers. I had a mix of union workers and non-union workers. But by and large, the entire group is married, have kids, have dogs, surprisingly, maybe not, everybody's a dog lover, and most of them have been with the same company for at least 25 years. Also, all of these baby boomers are homeowners, some of them have grandkids, and many have traveled internationally for work or vacation. Now, another important thing to know about this group is none of them live in crazy big houses. They don't live a lavish lifestyle, but they do live comfortably because they put such an emphasis on what they did for their retirement. Let's go ahead and get into the list. Number 1, maximize your 401k on day 1 of your career. Now, this was similar to one of the tips from the first video, in which was max out your 401k. But this person specifically said day 1 of your career and continue to do that throughout your career as your salary increases and as the max contribution limit increases. Number 2, don't borrow from your 401k unless it's an emergency. Now, I actually had 2 baby boomers suggest this, and one of them said if you need to borrow money and can do it from your retirement plan is not all bad. This person said, I borrowed just under $10,000 from my retirement plan and paid myself back over a 5-year period through payroll deductions. And they also mentioned interest rates were much higher then. Now, they didn't specify and tell me exactly why they borrowed the $10,000. If it's truly an emergency, you have it no other way. These 2 people were saying that's okay to do. All right, number 3, create a separate savings account for emergencies. Amen. If you create a separate savings account for your emergency fund, and pro tip, label the account name to savings fund instead of account number 1234556. When you put a name to that savings account, it is going to prevent you, hopefully, from pulling money out of that account for anything besides emergencies. This person also noted to make separate savings accounts for bigger things like maybe a vacation or a car fund. Number 4, don't carry debt on your credit cards. Yes. Number 5, make extra payments on your mortgage or a car loan. This way, it reduces the amount of interest you pay and also reduces the principal. Number 6, pay cash whenever possible. And this person also noted that this should be especially true for new cars. Amen. If you cannot pay cash for a car, I just don't think you can afford that car. That is how strongly I feel about car loans because I've seen the success in paying cash for a car. You're done, no interest. I did not pay extra for this vehicle. It is outright mine. Number 7, if you are married, have a single checking account and savings account that you both are on the account together. This helps you hold each other accountable, and so there's no financial infidelity happening where you are making purchases without your partner actually knowing. Number 8, I love this one. Balance living for the present and also living for the future. That's so true. We have to live our lives in this moment. While it's so important that we continue to save for later on in life and for this dream retirement that we have pictured, we also need to enjoy the present. Now, I have to give you this comment that I got. Money sure helps, but don't work your life and save for tomorrow. Now's the time to enjoy whatever you have. Do not work your ass off now to save for tomorrow. There may not be a tomorrow. Okay, I halfway agree with this because I am very much a planner. I'm a future thinker, and if I don't have those walls of financial security built up, I won't be living in the present. I will be living in an insane asylum because I will be going crazy if I don't have that security. But I see what they're saying. You have to go, if you're worried about, oh, I have to save money now, I have to say no to that trip to Italy with friends. Go on the trip to Italy with your friends. You will never get those memories back. In fact, you know, a lot of people say they have regrets about going into debt. I don't regret the student loans that I had because it helped me get some amazing experiences. I traveled and studied abroad to Australia, and had I not done that because I was worried about saving money, I would have never gotten that worldly experience. It wouldn't have created the person that I am today because I so value travel, meeting new people, and experiencing new cultures because I went on that trip. So bottom line is definitely enjoy your present too. Number 9, differentiate want versus a need. And sometimes your partner may not always agree on that. And it also comes down to whether or not you agree on what's an emotional purchase or not. And so a lot of times when we spend, we have a certain emotional attachment to that. And so I think it's important that we distinguish that want versus need. I think this is a great tip because I need to pay my rent. I need to pay my utilities bill. I want a new pair of jeans. I want to go out to eat because I don't want to cook tonight. So distinguishing the want versus need is super valuable, especially if you are living with somebody else. Let them hold you accountable to that. Number 10, have honest and open conversations with your partner about spending decisions and priorities. In fact, something that Kyle and I have done in the past, we still do, is that if we make any purchases over $100, then we have to check with each other first before we make that purchase, because over $100 to us was like, whoa, hold up, let's figure out, because that's a good chunk of change. So what are we spending the money on? Having those open and honest conversations is so crucial, and it sounds like, according to this person, continuing to do so in retirement. Number 11, check account titles while doing a 401k rollover. This person says if you transfer and do a rollover into an IRA account, make sure it's titled as such, because generally employer contributions rolled over into an IRA are fully protected under current bankruptcy law. I did not know that. And speaking of rollovers, if you haven't done this for yourself yet, or you're finding it very complicated, let me tell you a little something about that. 401k rollovers historically have been tedious and intimidating. To say that the process is complicated is an understatement. Think about all the things that you have to do. You have to contact your old provider, sometimes contact the old employer, fill out complicated forms, sometimes even mail a paper check. It's a mess. That's where Capitalize comes in. Capitalize is an independent platform, so independent of any type of brokerage firm or investment company, who helps you roll over your old 401k into an IRA for free. With Capitalize, you can let the experts do all the heavy lifting, easily compare your rollover options, do everything mostly online, and it's free. So why would you want to roll over an old 401k? Perhaps you don't want to leave it with an old employer. Plus, that old 401k plan could have really high fees and limited choices on what you can invest in. Don't know where your old 401k is located? Capitalize uses proprietary technology to locate 75% of the 80 million 401k accounts in the US. Now, Capitalize may make a referral fee based off of the IRA that you might choose that's listed on their website, but the choice is totally up to you. Look, there are 24 million forgotten 401k accounts that add up to $1.35 trillion. That's so much money. So don't let one of your old 401k accounts be one of those. Sign up for Capitalize for free using the link in the description box below. Okay, moving on. Number 12 is to understand your benefits or requirements of your 401k plan. This person actually gave me a really good list of questions that you can use when you're considering going through your 401k plan on your own. Okay, so the questions are: when am I eligible to participate? Do I need to work a certain amount of hours annually to be eligible? So full-time versus part-time. When am I 100% vested in the plan for employer contributions? Vested means that if you were to ever leave your job, your employer's contributions goes with you. So if you leave before you're vested, you'll have to give that money back. Another good question: can I borrow money from my retirement plan? Are there options to set up or contribute to a Roth IRA through the plan? That's a good one. I hadn't even thought about that. I always kind of thought Roth IRAs you'd have to do on your own. Can I make pre-tax contributions to the plan, and is there a maximum? Yes. Is there an employee stock option plan I could participate in? And is there a pension plan, and when would I be eligible? These are all great questions to ask when you are considering your retirement benefits with your employer. Number 13, pay attention to the fees and performance of your investment choices. Now, this person says they don't mind paying higher fees for high performance. So it is definitely important to take a note of that. Inside of those quarterly statements, you'll see that sometimes not only is there an administrative fee or an annual fee, there also could be fund fees. So make sure you are asking for those and hunting those out in your retirement plan. Along with that, number 14, review your quarterly statements. It's always a wise choice to go ahead and take a look at things. And this person says, don't be afraid to rebalance your investments from time to time. Contributions are also a good opportunity to rebalance. Number 15, consider a pension rollover. Now, I don't know too many millennials who have access to pensions. If you do, please comment below and let me know. I feel like this was something that, our parents' generation, baby boomers, were more privy to and could access. This person says, if you leave a company and were there long enough to qualify for a pension plan, you may be able to roll over part of that to your current employer's retirement plan or a rollover IRA. Interesting. So much like with a 401k plan, if it was a pension plan and you change jobs, see if you can roll over that plan. Number 16, take advantage of your employer's group life insurance plan. Oftentimes, these plans are more affordable than what you could pay outside of your employer. Maybe your employer helps contribute to that, or it gives you a baseline policy. Sometimes that could just be as little as $50,000, but especially consider this as you get married and have kids, because these are the things, these types of insurance policies are what is going to help protect you in case the event that you're no longer with us. That's sad, I know. Okay, number 17, understand your retirement options as a teacher. Now, teachers get unique benefits sometimes, and so I actually spoke to this person who is a retired teacher. They said 12% of my salary went directly to the state teacher retirement fund, and that was matched by the school district. They also told me that they weren't fully vested until after 25 years of service. I thought that was wild, because a lot of private companies, you can become fully vested within a year, 2 years. It's easy and it's done. So I was really quite surprised about that. And they said, it's because the state that they were working in was a low income state. They want to keep teachers on and make sure that they get paid out. Also, they had the pension with their teacher retirement fund, and then they also had a 403b, which is like a 401k, only it's for state entities like school districts. Okay, I saved the last two, which are the best ones, for the end of this because I just thought they were so good. Number 18, retirement may not be what you expect. Hear me out with this one. This person says, sorry to say, but I miss working. If you do not have something to take place of the working hours, you get lost. It's really hard to do nothing, believe it or not. Fun for a year, but after that. And so I feel like this is something that I haven't quite figured out, or that I haven't really heard from, because I've seen it happen with some of the retired baby boomers of like, okay, I have some stuff to do the first year, I'm having fun, and then after that, what next? And so I think it's important to always be curious about your hobbies and your interests. Maybe there was something that you had thought about doing during your working life and you just never had time for it, that now you do have time for. And so it would be really fun to figure out exactly what those hobbies and interests are for retirement so you don't get bored. Okay, number 19, this truly is the best for last. If you do not have family and friends, you ain't got shit. This is literally what they told me. You plan your life for retirement, but when it comes, if you do not have family and friends, you ain't got shit. Oh my God, if you don't have family and friends, regardless of where you're at in your life, yeah, what else is there? So don't be afraid to foster relationships that are important to you. Reconnect with the relationships that maybe you've been neglecting, because remember, once you get to retirement, that's all that you have left, and you have to foster those relationships. Also, don't forget, this is something that I've done too, is that I reconnect with the relationships that I value the most, that I feel like I haven't given attention to, and also I prune the relationships that no longer feel positive. And actually, you know, this person gives me like a negative feeling, or I feel neutral about them. It doesn't help me, whatever. Make sure that you take the time to do that. And I find that once you get that going, your circle of friends, like I feel like in high school it used to be like everybody was your friend, and now that I'm in my 30s, it's like got like 2-3 people I hang out with. All right, so remember this one, guys, family and friends, that's all there is to it. And rolling over your 401k with Capitalize, check that out below. I'll see you in the next one.